We're about to get some White Castle, guys.
Hi, just give me 1 second.
Sure. I'm gonna get myself some White Castle and hang out with my Vintage HPI Micro RS4. More on this in a little bit. I'm hungry. Let me eat something.
Hi, what would you like?
Yes, hi. Could I have a small Fish Nibblers and 2 cheeseburger sliders?
Okay.
That's all.
$6.30.
Sure, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just got screwed at freaking White Castle. I know you heard me order the Fish Nibblers. Well, check this out. I'm gonna look inside this right now. It doesn't smell like fish to me. They gave me the damn shrimp nibblers. These are like $1 more. There's a lot less of these, and I didn't even ask for shrimp. I'm not gonna go back in the line because I don't want to make a scene. I'm not that dude. I'm just gonna eat these shrimp nibblers. You know, just shut up and talk about RC. I also got 2 of their classic cheeseburger sliders. You know, let me take a bite. I'm hungry. Okay, now I can talk about RC. First thing, we got my relatively collectible, I would say to me, Vintage HPI Micro RS4. Big updates, big projects on this. I ordered a damn brushless system. It's gonna be here soon. For the Associated MGT, we got the Proline Spinners. That's right, the Proline Spinners are in. These are pretty cool. They go on to the Series 40 style wheel on my Associated MGT 8.0, which still needs some work. It's a metal chrome disc here that's has bearings on the inside. Gonna put them in later. Then it's gonna spin as it's driving. It's freaking bling. Now I only got 1 set, so you know, I'm either gonna put it on like one side and pretend that I have them on all 4, but in reality, I just have 1 set. Hopefully this will work out. These were like $15 on eBay. You know, I lucked out. Usually they sell for like 30 or 40. Let me throw this away. Next update is my WL Toys 14401. You never go RCing without bringing a 2-speed, guys. Yeah, top speed. It is zooming. Results, we got 40 miles an hour with the 3S. Oh no, we got accidents over here. Geico's not gonna insure me. Oh, not looking good. Yep, looking pretty bad. Whoa. Whoa. Did it just commit suicide? I think this thing just committed suicide. What was that? This hit 40 miles an hour in a previous video with a really poorly charged 3S Lipo. So these things are actually quite capable. They are good, but if you hit anything, you're gonna be breaking the front suspension parts, you know, in no time. That's what I had. I tried to put on larger wheels. I don't know what happened. Mine slammed into the curb. I broke it. You know, it's like $3. I got a front new C-hub there, and it's good to go. Of course, the shocks sometimes bend. The shock towers also bend, but these parts are so cheap that if you're asking yourself, should I get this? Is it gonna break? It's gonna break. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna break, but it handles really good. You know, for basically $75 to $80 ready to run with a 2S Lipo, you can get close to 40 miles an hour. I say close because, yeah, I ran a 3S, but either way, handling very good. Another interesting thing, a lot of people don't really consider this, these tires. Guys, these are pretty much the size of regular 10 scale touring tires, and if you look at it, the rear tire is actually a little bit wider than the front tire. So if you wanted to use, let's say, the fronts on any kind of 10 scale touring sedan, these would be good. These are actually cheaper than buying and gluing your own tires. I might actually run one of my Nitro RS4s with the front tires on this. It's the same 12mm hub, so you're good to go. There's your update on this. I'm gonna be taking this thing out again. There's a lot of plans that people have for like brushless conversions, but 40 miles an hour stock on a 3S, it's good. I don't think it really needs to go more than that. That's quite adequate. The damn Fish Nibblers turned into Shrimp Nibblers. Hey, this is it. I mean, it's crispy, it's fresh. What's great about White Castle is, you know, they fried this stuff like literally right away. It doesn't sell that well from my understanding, so they literally just take it out of the freezer, put it into the deep fryer, and you get it. This is like pretty good, high quality shrimp. I don't particularly care about this. I wish this was the Alaskan pollock. That's what their Fish Nibblers are, but I'll eat it. I'm not gonna enjoy it that much. I'm actually gonna have to probably eat something else after this because this is like a tiny little sack. The cheese slider here, on the other hand, which costs $1 now, pretty much a ripoff. It's small, it's square. You might need like 6 of them. When I was younger, these things were pretty much what people used to race, you know, if you were on a budget especially. In terms of scale, this is a 1/18 scale. But HPI, they did quite a great job on the design of this RC. So this is a Lamborghini body. I don't particularly care about the body, but for such a small scale RC, it is remarkably well detailed. Let me remove the shell and show you what this particular one is actually all about. So the problem I had with this is my stock ESC, it burned out. These are relatively rare. You can get one for like 35 bucks, but then you're still gonna be stuck running the brushed motor. This motor is the HPI Micro modified motor. So it's actually pretty freaking quick for a stock one. I actually did some videos of this. This is pretty quick. You might have seen this on my channel previously. Generally, people used to get the Team Orion modified motors or the Team Orion big block motors. I don't have that right now. We just have this, but this is still way better than the stock HPI motor. The problem with these tiny motors is it's kind of hard to get a replacement brushless system because the most common sizes are like the 380 or the 540 size systems. These 180 size motors are relatively rare if you ever find them in a brushless configuration, but I did just that on Banggood. Check out the chassis on this, guys. This is a 4-wheel drive belt system. So there's a belt that literally goes from the back to the front. On the front you have some suspension, right? I'm gonna press it like this. So it's just spring loaded, right? There's no oil in these shocks, but people did used to upgrade to oil filled shocks in the front. Now of course there's like literally no space for it here, but in terms of handling, I gotta tell you, these things handle really, really well. Sometimes people would upgrade to a front one-way diff. This one doesn't have it. The suspension in the rear, also relatively interesting. It's pretty much just like a chassis flex plate type of system going on. So the chassis itself is a piece of, I think this is carbon. Doesn't really matter. It's not aluminum. It's a flexible material. And you could tell as I push on the top, right? The shock itself is flexing. This again is not oil filled. It's just like a tension unit with a spring there on the outside. But these things are fully modifiable, customizable, adjustable. I've removed one of the wheels. You could see there are these little indentations on the wheel itself. So this is part of the chassis itself. The wheel is just what you see here. Now my wheel is, you know, it's clearly old, it's cracked. You can tell there are cracks in the rubber. You can get these as replacement parts on eBay. It's not the end of the world, it's okay. But what's cool is there are grooves in the wheel. You guys see these little plastic things coming out? So based on how wide you want your wheels to be, you could put these into different grooves. So the one I have on the left here is all the way on the widest setting. You can get them more inboard, you know, to lower some of the stance of the car, but I like this. This is just one of those, you know, cool things that you can't really do on any other RC. You don't even need glue for these tires. Inside the wheel itself, there are little patches of foam. This is just to make sure that the wheel itself does not slide around. These wheels are generally not glued, and I know some people would glue them, but you really don't need to. This is such a lightweight chassis that even if you full throttle it, the wheel itself is not gonna spin through on the rim. It's pretty much unlikely. It's not gonna happen. The front is the same thing. You could also adjust the front wheels as well. You can get, you know, cool looking disc brakes. You can get pretty much every modification you could think of for these things. The only problem I ever really had with these things is mounting a Lipo battery. So normally they're designed to run 4 AA's right over here. There's usually a battery holder that goes right here. Belt is literally on the bottom of the chassis. So if you have any kind of lipos, you know, hitting that, well, you're gonna have a lot of abrasion on your lipo pack. That's usually a problem. Mounting electronics on a chassis like this, if you're going with something non-standard, is not the easiest thing ever. But it is a really good, capable RC car. These handle well. They have, you know, 4-wheel drive. Pretty easy to work on, obviously, you know, because it's lightweight and it's all plastic. Unfortunately, I just noticed my rear body post has broken off. Damn shame. I'm gonna have to hot glue it, just like how you guys see I hot glued the front over here so they don't move. But this is just one of those things with older RCs. Now, what's great is they still sell this exact chassis kit. They might be called the RS4 Micro Drift. It doesn't really matter. They basically all have these slick tires anyway. And guess what? It's gonna be drifting if you're on some kind of tile, surface, or linoleum. No matter what, these things drive really great. So guys, I'm looking forward to getting this thing up and running. What's up, Nitro Gang? I'm over at my local Home Depot. Don't worry, I got my face mask ready. I just need to get 2 things. I need some hot glue sticks to mount my camera on the RC. That's why I haven't had any onboard footage recently. I ran out of hot glue, you know, and Amazon Prime is taking like a super long time to deliver right now. So I'm gonna have to go put this on, go into the Home Depot. I'm also gonna have to get a can of WD-40. Gotta remove my glasses here because, like, when you wear a face mask and glasses, the glasses tend to get foggy. I don't know if you guys experienced this. If you have, put in the comments. Foggy glasses problem we got going on. Foggy glasses. It looks like the Home Depot selection of hot glue sticks is really limited. Hopefully this brand will be okay. I normally use the Stanley brand, and looks like this can of WD-40 is gonna be like over $10. Let's see what it's gonna come out at the register. Let's see how you're supposed to do this. So I don't know if there's any way I can scan this without touching it. So yeah, we're gonna have to touch it. Let's see. $8.87, not too bad. Scan the hot glue. Hot glue, $7. Touch screen, let's go. Let's pay. 0 bags. Credit, $17.